Hi everyone, this video is for community only. This is not a public video. This is a documentation of building lot OS. Today I'd like to talk about Bitcoin, why we chose it, how we using it, talk a little bit about sync, about community, and just go again through the talk we did last Friday. So I just will come back to those three um, categories, the roadmap that we established last time, and talk about uh, it again so we can refresh what's going on. Also, um, there was this really nice and interesting and thought-provoking comment from Lag 5 days ago. So I'd like to address this as well, and I'm interested in this kind of conversation a lot because that's exactly why we're building this, is to find the truth. And it's not about truth like a corporate truth or American truth or Russian truth. It's a human nature truth. We want to understand how can we live this life so we feel with joy, happiness, and love at all times. So we understand that everything that happens is for a reason. That everything that happens is for our own good. We're just missing the interface to see that. Right, so let's talk about. I hope you hear me well. That's AirPod headphones, so hopefully the sound is great. So last time we established that right now at lot we're going to use at the beginning a third-party custodial wallet. What that means in human language? That means that we're going to use bank. Let's add it here so we are on the same page. Bank. That's it. So there's no, basically there's no, there's a lot of, you can talk about white papers and about terms in technology and plugins, but basically companies like Gemini right here, Coinbase, Cash, App, Square, all these companies are Square, Cash, the same, I understand, but I'm just saying super separate kind of businesses. So all those companies are banks. What that mean? What I'm saying this? Why I keep saying this? Because you have an interface that connects to their bank. And so if you need any currency, doesn't matter, you exchange currency with the bank. Other people, users from all over the world can also exchange this with bank. But we still need this kind of custody, right? It looks like bank, but it also looks like prison. Custody. We need a third-party organization, a third-party institution, or how you would say it. So it's just, I'd say it's like a guarantee. Like, yeah, you need like a third-party guarantee that if this person from somewhere send money to me, technically, this person can send money just like this. It's still impossible to do directly. It's still impossible to do this with dollars. You still have to do it with like bank with bank. With Bitcoin, it's a little bit easier. You can send it directly, right? It's a no custody. In theory, it's a no custody, meaning it's a direct payment. There's no human ledger, meaning there's no one who track or approve or see your transaction. It's automated. There's no gold behind it, means that it's indefinite. It's numbers. It's a formula. There's no cash behind it, meaning it's hygiene. It's modern. It's straightforward, and it's very convenient. So um, the question from the audience that I hear already is, well, if I have iPhone or computer for that matter, it's convenient. But if I don't, I still have to use cash or gold. That's the third point where we come in. That's a valid question. So now, if I'm a user, right, I am sending this money to me, to other person, boom, like this. Bitcoin I can do it, but it's very technical, very sophisticated, and it's you have to be basically like a developer, right, to be able to send money directly and take risks. You also have to have money to be able to take risks, understanding this technology. So while this is happening, Bitcoin is very early. It's only 11 years or something, and let me, because we need to be precise. Oh, 2009, right. So it's 9. So we're still very early. It's we're just building this up, and that's why we're using the third-party uh, institution, bank, a custody, call it whatever. But we're using this, and there are companies. There are companies that are here, right? Let's start with the most most successful ones. So Coinbase, Gemini, Cash App. I don't put Square. I don't. So Cash App. So these are, and once again, there are probably many more. And this is just top of the line. Public, not public yet. I think. I'm not sure. Coinbase just went public, so that's why we're choosing this um, third-party custody to work with your money. So when your money hit Lot Wallet here, technically, this highlighted section here, this is how much my wallet holds. So that amount is at Coinbase. We use their bank to store your money and our money as well. So we store our Bitcoin at Coinbase. When you add money to your wallet, you store money technically at Coinbase. So that's why I'm highlighting this over and over and over, because it's a new technology and um, it's not straightforward. So that's why I'm saying that for now, for this evolutionary step, which might take months, years, we use a third-party custodial wallet bank. It's technically a new bank. Before it was Wells Fargo, now it's Coinbase. Understandable. And we before Bitcoin, we would use a link between Wells Fargo and Stripe. So we would use a payment system, and then once money hit our payment system, Stripe, all secure, your money hit payment system Stripe. So notice we're not involved in this transaction yet. Then Stripe send money to Wells Fargo bank. So every step there cuts. And then Wells Fargo also time, like days, hit Stripe, 5 days to hit the Wells Fargo account, 5 days. So you would end up always like with like 14 days, 15 days of just payout. That's it. And while they would hold your money to get um, them working, while we all waiting. Once the wait is over, Wells Fargo would send those basically washed or laundered money, your money, to us. Once we receive the money, we start packing and then we ship, right? Here we have exactly same link. However, it's way more transparent. It's way more sophisticated and just better. Instead of using Stripe and Wells Fargo, we're using Bitcoin and Coinbase. So you see the analogy, it's the same kind of thing. Instead of Wells Fargo, we use Coinbase. Instead of dollars, we use Bitcoin. So that's the setup for right now. That setup allow us to build what we're doing because we are not focusing on Bitcoin itself. We are not focusing on currency. We are focused on design and art and beauty. So therefore, we don't want that headache yet. So we want to outsource this whole thing to a bank, Coinbase. Um, if Coinbase will not be sufficient, well, we switch to Gemini. If Gemini won't be sufficient, we switch to something else. It's yeah, BlockFi. There are a lot of companies that appearing. It's not the point. So these companies are only a ledger between you and me. That's it. They not own Bitcoin. They did not invent Bitcoin. They did not offer anything but interface and bank. So they have an interface that allow me send money to you, and then they have a lot of money that cover those transactions. So you think it happens fast. Actually, they cover all transactions with their money. For that, you pay a cut again. So it's understandable situation for now. One slot hit uh, volumes of few thousand users, we can start thinking about our own bank. So we don't pay to Coinbase, we don't pay to Gemini, we don't pay to no one. With our terms at lot, we know that it's not like a what's the word? Um, you see, it's interesting. It's like all these companies they say it's they focused, but they're actually not focused at all. They just offer you these tools. You can build stuff, but as a consumer, it's not that convenient, and therefore, a lot of people who have access to information take advantage of that. So we have a situation where the top of the pyramid get the cut, and then it's simple stuff. And so what we're doing here is we're trying to actually focus energy into one source. Yes, we're going to do everything from toilet paper to a car, from toothbrush to a city, but it's actually hyper focused. And I hope people will see this one day. That's my mission to show this. But anyway, this is just sidetrack. What I'm trying to say is that once we hit thousands of users, this volume will allow us to um, attract capital so we can have our own fund, our own bank, right? In that case, now we don't pay to Coinbase, we don't rely on Coinbase, we don't have to worry about their cut fees, their system, whatever, their political stance, we don't care because we sit on our own pillow. And so when you send money or you buy Bitcoin from us, you know, because now also it's another thing, now you can't buy Bitcoin from us. You can only buy Bitcoin somewhere else and then put it to a third party wallet. Um, but what we need to do is so you can buy Bitcoin from us. Basically, you put $100 in lot, you exchange, you have your Bitcoin. We might add this little difference that once you buy Bitcoin from us, it stays in lot. You can't cash out. And if you want to cash out, you use Coinbase, you use Gemini, you use other apps. With us, you only use it for lot. But anyway, even if we want to sell you Bitcoin, so say, for example, in some countries it's not that convenient to buy Bitcoin. So we might offer that solution with beautiful interface that we have with very simple, straightforward um, transparency, like no one still offering. You know, Coinbase, for example, you would sometimes try to sell or exchange, and they just give you error, and then you glue things together. You understand, oh, it's like no, they are actually just blocking the transaction. You know, we don't. I don't want this stuff, so I just want if there's like if it's not convenient for us to sell right now or something, we'll just put it there and just say, um, look, you can sell it right now, but wait. But anyway, I don't want to give advice to Coinbase. It's a multi-billion company, but we can do it much better. And because we focused on human experience, not on money, not on banks. We just want you to feel good. So that's why we need bank. We need bank so you can buy Bitcoin from us. Your wallet is protected. Say we have $1 billion fund. It just stays there. It's important. It works for us. It generates money. But something happens with Bitcoin. Something happens with uh, just transactions. We have option to pay because that's our responsibility. So that's why we want eventually to get to lot custodial, where you put money directly to lot. You buy Bitcoin directly from lot. This is your only financial institution. Eventually, once lot provide food and water and shelter, in that case, you understand that that's why we need this. Because now we can credit users, we can have interesting programs for people to get in, start. Anyway, you need this pillow, and this pillow will be used for manufacturing. This pillow will be used for hiring and just long-term research and development. But also that pillow will be used for um, world custodial. This is, I think, this is important transformational step towards the third option, which is why we all here. And the third step is a non-custodial wallet. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing because, well, Bitcoin is already non-custodial. So once you basically, many people, that's first question, how I start using Bitcoin? You go to one of these sites right here, and you put $2 and they give you basically like currency, like buying euros or buying gold or buying silver, you're buying Bitcoin. So you're doing this with them. There's a solution that exists already where you can go and buy Bitcoin directly from the machine. Let's put it this way, from the system, like internet, right? You just, I'm not, I'm still researching and working. Like this is where that's why we put it later. So you can get Bitcoin directly from the network. From the miners. You don't need to buy it from the bank. You can buy it directly from, like same with gold. Like this person mined brick of gold. Then they bring it to bank, and now then you get your money, your dollars. You rely on that brick of gold that that person found. So once again, bank is the only middleman. It's optimization. Bitcoin have have the same option. You can go and buy Bitcoin from middleman, third-party custodial, but you can also buy directly from a miner. Miners, people who have servers that have a lot of processing power and a lot of just electricity to process a specific algorithm that generate a specific code. That code is Bitcoin. Once again, the easiest example is like, what is your home? It's a building, it's land, but it's also a zip code, right? In what is more valuable in that formula? The building, land, or zip code? Same with phone number. You have your iPhone, and you have phone number. Technically, phone number costs nothing, but what is more valuable, your phone number or the iPhone? So same with Bitcoin. Once the machine, um, yeah, think about it as like another internet. Once that internet with there's a lot of people involved, technical people, financial people who make sure that that system works. They provide better solutions for mining, for just working with computers, working with cooling. You can research for yourself. It's fascinating. And so you can buy directly from them. It's just much more complex for now. And you can even mine your own Bitcoin yourself. So it will be hard, it will be slow because you need a lot of processing power and stuff like this. But you don't need any to get Bitcoin. You don't even need anything but electricity and a simple computer. And the white paper, how it works, is all open source published, so you can go online, spend a year, and start mining your own Bitcoin and sell it to people. Um, so all that is coming in the future. We in the future, which is I don't know, tomorrow, 5 years, we don't need a third-party custodian. We don't need middlemen. We don't need nobody who uh, approve value or who sits between me and the provider, or I'm the receiver, that's the provider. We don't need middlemen. That's the whole point. So that's the third part. Because in this part, well, it's still a little bit of middleman. It's like your friend, it's the system, it's within the system. So it's like you buying um, things, you put things only to buy stuff from lot. And so you buy stuff from lot and you use lot using this currency, using this system. But um, that's why we need this, so it's independent from. But third party is where we don't even need second part, or third stage where we don't even need the second stage. It's my personal opinion. It's impossible to do third stage without second stage, um, because technically third stage is already exist right now, but yet we still here. We're all using this. So that means that something is broken here, right? So that's what we're going to fix. The solution that Lot is providing for this third party is something I found on Gemini website, which is precise. Taking personal responsibility for your finance. That's it. Like that's exactly what this third stage is, and it's nothing to do with interface, money. It's mental. It's how we think about money. It's how you think about money. It's how I think about money. How we think about values, exchange of the values, how we build things. It's all new because we all used to rely on government, on corporation, on someone else. We always look to someone who will approve something. Third stage is the new life. You don't wait for no one to give you salary. You don't wait for no one to approve your skills. You are independent. That's where you own your own money. Technically, to do so, all you have to do is write down on a piece of paper 12 digits. That's how you, let me double check. So for the history, we good. Coin hash. So that number called hash, that Bitcoin number called hash, and it's 20, I see, it's 64 characters. So 64 characters, that's all you need to be on this thing. But you can imagine you have family, you have your all, everything in your life depends on bank, on this credit card or on this cash or whatever. Here, it's all depends on those 64 numbers. Scary, right? Not yet. Soon. So what these companies do, they take those 64 characters, they encrypt it for you into interface, and you use that your 64 numbers, 64 characters, using their interface. Same here. Second, we're going to now with those 64 digits, they don't even belong to us. Like I mean, they belong to no one anyway. It's just we don't even generate them. We take that from Coinbase. We want to generate them by ourselves, take full responsibility for every transaction, be completely transparent, make a better version of Bitcoin interface, basically. Three is where you can not even rely on lot digital system anymore. The way I see it is that we have products, systems, and just tricks for your life to be off the grid, untethered from government, from the system. So from internet. And in that case, well, people often say to us, how I'm going to pay for my rent, how I'm going to do this. Well, you have to even go deeper. What if there's no need to pay for rent? What if there's no need to um, think even in terms of like breakfast, lunch, dinner? What if there's like better life out there, man? And so for that better life, new version of life, you need a new type of just transaction currency. And I feel that our strength as a community is this. Um, we are absolutely pioneers in this. Like even um, with this terminal, we're pushing this um, forward. And you guys, by listening to this, by engaging with this, by pressing those buttons and um, trying to understand it as well as I'm trying to understand it, or we're trying to understand it, that's the work we're doing. So that's important work. Taking personal responsibility for finance, meaning that it's not, oh, I have my numbers tattooed here. All right. No, it means like how you think about money. What's your long-term goals? What's your short-term goals? Who are you, and who you want to be? What kind of people you want to be around? This is all taking personal responsibility for finance. I know because I've been in deep Russia. Now I'm here in Los Angeles. So I understand the difference of mentalities. Uh, I see it very well in a way that it's impossible to explain, say, to me 20 years ago, back in Russia, what's taking personal responsibility for your finance, right? I have my money here. What? what's next? I own my money, but now it's something else. It's thinking long-term investment, respect yourself. It's so many things that people don't talk about. Why it's people don't talk about it? Because people who um, know how to take personal responsibility for their finance, they already use these tricks. So for them, they obvious. For someone who never understood how that works and finally learned how it works, I think there's a learning curve that people need to go. And I'm just speaking about myself. So some people get it right away, some people won't get it, but it's much harder and longer conversation than just grab your money and put in your pocket. It's not about that. It's about basically we can phrase this as taking personal responsibility for yourself, and that's the difference we are entering. Um, that's the core. This is not Gemini anymore. So that's you know this is we rely on corporation, and we. And I'm not saying about lot. I'm saying us people. We millennials. We grew up. We don't know what the fuck is going on. So we all used to rely, not anymore though, but we used to rely on corporations. Google, Coca-Cola, Airbnb, airlines. Like we thought that's the life. You want to work on those corporations. You want to work on those projects, and now we know that's not the life. Second, we still kids. We don't know how to use our money. No matter how rich you are or how much money you have. У тебя много денег, у меня 20. No matter how much money you have, you are still a kid, most likely, because I was one, or I'm still one, that just learning how to use yourself, your own self. And so we're finally in the stage where we are going out from the corporate reality. I feel that Coinbase is the last step, the last transition between this new wave. We still have to learn a lot how to take personal responsibility for yourself. This is the transition step where we can do this collectively as a community, not relying on celebrity culture, not relying on corporate culture, not relying on government, not relying on what people say, relying on us, on community, on things that we want to do and we want to build. This is creating our own simulation here. We still need a transitional step. I feel this is where we are grown-ups. This is where we adults. This is where we can take personal responsibility for ourselves. That's where instead of going and buying, I'm building. That's when instead of going out, I'm cooking. That's when instead of talking, I'm sitting in quiet. So we are far away from this, and I'm getting reminded of this daily. Like I feel like this, non-custodial, right? I feel like I'm ready to take personal responsibility for myself. But then there's a lot of things that we are hooked on, including water, including hygiene, like how you go to toilet, on the forest. Like we have to learn things, we have to build them, or understand how to rebuild this environment. But obviously, that whatever this presenting to us is only the beginning, and it's very, very basic. This is what you want. This is the great untethering. This is where you don't rely on no government. This is when whatever happens out there, don't care, because you're not society. You are you. Society is here. And so I understand that this whole thing is extremely complex. And believe me, it's complex by design. And so our goal is to make it simple. And this talks to make it simple. I feel that we are connected right now together, you and me, and we can understand this, find the loopholes, what's out, and make it better. So if you have ideas, straightforward ideas on thoughts, not on an interface, but we're rather interested in these conceptual things, please put in comments, because that's the subject of this conversation. Like, what is going on? Where are we going? I'm thinking that the easiest way to explain to someone if you will ever occur, if this problem will ever occur, you just say that you're, you work for, um, it's like Oculus, you know, it's like developers version. Remember when they did a developers version, and it was just this big thing, cost a couple $1,000s. You can only work um, like on PC, certain computers. You have to get. I remember these times, and still people were buying them, and that was a community-driven project. Now, Oculus is a Facebook Pro company, and VR is a daily life gadget, and going even further. So um, to me, next 10 years of our life is like this developer's version. So I think it's important for us and for you to rebrand yourself, not the consumer, because that's just old news in general. Like if you want to consume, go to Instagram, right? This is, um, but this is rather a developer's version. This is um, creators. Like we build this. If you have idea how to add a piece of code that improve this, shoot, you'll be credited, you'll be paid. You don't need to ask no one, but just make prototypes. If you know how to get to third stage better, maybe you cook, maybe you parent, maybe you build. Uh, let's talk, but you have to understand the context, right? It's not about you, it's about the context. It's about kids. We have to build these first 1,000 users so precise that the next generation of users will be 10,000, 100,000. Will know the values, and until we there, lot will always be, hold on, until we at the point where the values and lot is crystallized, will continue to be in developer's version. So I'll take a coffee break, and let's talk about the comment. Um, that's interesting. Check, check. Yeah, I'm just preparing the. It's interesting. It's Friday. 11 a.m. trash bin day. Every time we have a call, there's a. I can't wait they switch to electric because this is too loud. The theory: what if the loudness of garbage um, trucks on purpose? So people kind of why it's so loud? 7 a.m. It's from 7 to 12. Um, Let it pass. So this let's talk about this. Let's talk about this question. Question rather comment. So the highlights of this comment is that Bitcoin is created by uh, American government. It's not currency of the future. It's only a test before moving everything to blockchain. There is some information behind it that we can Google and also research. So this is very cryptic comment. I think I know exactly what it is. So I just want to quickly explain. So that's here is this is the price. This is how much we. It depends day to day, but of the our uniform module for now costs $100. That's the entry fee per month. So every month you pay technically $100. We don't use dollars. We think that's old currency, so we use Bitcoin. So this is the equivalent of dollars here. The question is, what if Bitcoin is not the one? What if Bitcoin is military? What if it's like, well, it's all going to fall? We don't really care. Doesn't matter. Call it anything. Rubles. The system would still work. You can keep it in dollars if you wish. It would work. It would work in rubles. It would work in Ethereum. It would work on anything. That's not the point. I can put here anything. No, this not, that doesn't look like, but maybe it's. Anyway, you get the point. Like I can put like any. This is the currency. Like you know anything can run these numbers. Any currency. It's not about the currency. It's about the numbers. Numbers are pure. And that's the beauty of the system. The numbers are pure. This is the most important metric here. You can log in and see this every day for yourself because this is just a simple, the most simple proof of what's going on. This is how much people visit us this month. Is it up or down from last month? Right now it's up 20%. 460 people more on average up to this day. Subscribe this month. These are people who subscribe on physical module. So we only have free physical module subscribers. Oh, we have total six. I apologize. We have six, and we have three total. Six, and we have three this month. That's all you have to know. These numbers change everything at all. Everything depends on these numbers. So when we have here 60 total subscribers, this the your lot shares, the company valuation, everything will be different. So for us, once again, it doesn't matter in which currency we run lot. This is makes you feel better, okay? You see, maybe in future I can even switch this. It doesn't matter. We are not pro Bitcoin. We are pro freedom. Ethereum is not freedom. Dollars are not freedom. Rubles are not freedom. Euros are not freedom. In my research, Bitcoin is the most freedom. There's another part in that comment. It's about hinting that Apple possibly will launch their own. Uh, I mean, they will do digital currency anyway. They have to like. That's why they have card. That's why they have this pa 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 pa. You can see this. I'm not from Apple. I don't work. I don't know anyone from Apple. I'm just observing and saying that. Yeah, I get the point. And I'm thinking that Apple going to launch simply this this shit. I think this is Apple product. We'll see. I have no idea. I'm just speculating here, but for the matter of conversation, imagine that Litecoin is actually Apple coin. This is just a shell for when Apple will press button and all your Apple payments, all your savings, all that Apple finance that you have, sending money to each other, obviously will be through digital currency, not dollars. So question is it going to be Bitcoin or Litecoin? I don't want to go political. I, with my full loving Russian heart, don't give a fuck. I think Bitcoin is better because it's mystical. It's feels different. It's very hacker based. It's like a tool. You can use it, shape whatever you want from that. This already given me opinions. I was the like, and you see what they say based on blockchain technology. So they saying that it's not actually Bitcoin, it's blockchain, right? That's the brand. Oh no, it's not like this is all. We don't say stuff like this. We could easy switch this number right here, lot shares 24/6, to our own currency and have our own money. In fact, we might do this if we need to, but we don't need to. So why they feel like they have to do this? Why these big players switching from Bitcoin and saying it's not Bitcoin, it's blockchain technology, right? They try to say it's Lightning connected, Lightning fucking speed, but who cares? Like I just gave you in the beginning of this talk example that I would wait 15 days to get paid on regular system, dollars, banks, all that shit. So for me, 60 minutes of Bitcoin is no big deal. If I can send $1 billion to you in 60 minutes, try to send $1 to Russia or to China. The fees will be more expensive than $1. Bitcoin, I can send $1 billion, 60 minutes. I don't care if you make it 2 minutes faster, 60 minutes faster. It's doesn't matter at this point. It's already the fastest shit possible. Well, Apple launched their Litecoin and it's instant and cool, cool. See, the idea is not about any coin or any currency. The idea is about this blockchain thing. That's number one piece. Second part is limitation of the supply. It's like art. There are only five There are only five. Um, there are only five paintings out there. So of course, each of these five paintings will be very expensive, right? It's simple. There's only five paintings out there, three paintings out there. They're all very unique. So of course, each would cost just as much as you ask because that's it. That's not no more. Even if you cut a piece of this painting, it still would cost money. What happens if you have a postcard which is printed with 1 million units? It's different, right? It could be same image here, but it's different price. This would cost you $1 million. This would cost you $1. It's hard to grasp, but that's the reality. And so that's exactly the Bitcoin and dollar. This is dollar. This is rubles. This is government currency. This is Bitcoin. It's art because it's limited. A lot we have the same. We have 2046 shares. That's how we generate value. We don't have unlimited amount of shares. We're not printing money. That's it. It's the pie. There is only one pie. And you can have a piece of this pie right now just by subscribing to SOX. So in a way, you know, just to finish this, I think the way we see it is that we buying pieces of this pie. I bought a little bit. I bought a little bit. I bought a little bit. I bought socks. I I invested 10 million. Boom! I have bigger piece of the pie. But see, the pie is always the same. It's not going anywhere. It's always the same. It's always there. So I feel like we're not cutting from pie. We're actually adding to pie. We're actually building the pie. We're completing the pie. So I think now it's not complete. And so us adding just a little bit, we're completing this pie. And now we all own this. And there's only 24/6 shares in it. So when we have 24/6 people, shareholders, we all own lot completely. But when we have plus one user 24/7, now we have to share. We have to split our shares. So that user can get a little bit. And so on. Then we have million users. We are only going to split this 24/6 shares. And you see, that's the promise of Bitcoin. It is just as simple as that. That's just the promise of Bitcoin. So everything else, like I feel like Ethereum is like, oh, we see Bitcoin and then we build a lot and we call it a new currency. No, we can. I just want to say again, we can start our own currency at any moment. Drop 100K to few services, and tomorrow, or rather 15 days, your currency will be listed on Coinbase. It's only money game. It's all not real, guys. So I just wanted to give you this talk with you. We will have more conversations like this. Please don't share this as between us, between you and me. I'll see you next Friday.